We are here in Israel on 2:30. Shut up.
Eric,
We are. Shut up.
it's July 1st. Stop it, Greg.
July 1st? Okay. It's July 1st? Okay. We are here on July 1st in Israel.
Erica.
I know. We are here on July 1st at the beach, looking at these great waves, great weather. But what are we missing? Girls. Now we need some sexy people. Their noses are like this. We need a
We are here July 1st in Israel.
Shut up.
On vacation.
Kids, let's hear
On
it.
vacation.
Let's have a good
At
narrative.
the beach.
Erica, you're in my...
This is Mediterranean.
Yes, Mediterranean. And don't you know,
Okay. Looking upon
we're at the Plaza Hotel,
Plaza Hotel in
overlooking the Mediterranean
Tel
Sea in
Aviv.
Tel Aviv, Israel.
Tel Aviv. Yeah.
On July 1st,
Doing a good job.
And did you ask me tonight?
1986.
Did you ask me tonight? What do you do?
Oh, sorry.
Here we are standing the Plaza Hotel balcony, overlooking. We're going on tour to Jaifa. We're going on tour today in Jaifa and another place. I don't know what the name is. Got it, but so we're going there, and then we should be back about 3:30, 4 o'clock to go swimming at the beach. Can't see it, but I can see the sails.
Good,
I
Eric.
would say they have about 150 boats. That's about even with the. That's wonder how many shekels are in a dollar.
How many shekels are in a dollar?
I don't
Sorry
know.
about it.
It's like $1.50 to a dollar, whatever. Okay, all right,
Good.
all right.
50 cents a shekel.
Where are we looking? Up there we have the snack bar, pizzeria. What are we looking upon now? We're looking upon Greg, no?
Eric, watch out for
Hey,
your
the
head.
Peter Pan. We will also be visiting Jerusalem, which we'll see later on the camera. That's all, folks, for today. We don't know what size.
Oh,
Oh, damn. Good enough. Erica, why are you doing that? It's a good flower. There. Oh, that was good. Go right into
stop it, Greg. Yeah, I did get you. No. Stop it. It looks like Alfred E. Newman. And this is a family movie, Adam.
Here we have Mr. New York.
What hotel is that? The Coffee?
Oh. You want to take something? Walk down here to the square.
Go right down over. Yeah. That's nice where the restaurants are.
Yeah, just go to the end of this and get all the restaurants.
What is this, Bob? What's this called? Huh? What is this called? This courtyard?
I don't know. I just call it the square. I don't know what's there.
Plaza Hotel, where the Goldsteins, Spats, and Horowitz families will stay. And he's safe. Oh, dear.
Dad, get out of here.
Come on, Zach.
Run out of here.
Here comes Zachy Gibbs.
Dad, get on, Dad. Here.
Hey, Zach. That's my boy, Zach. This is our bus that we're going through soon. You
Purposely
know,
moved up so you couldn't get in there. Yeah.
and here comes our chauffeur. Are in front of the Plaza Hotel in Tel Aviv, Israel, with our family, Jackie, Grandma, Donna, and Erica. Turn around, Erica. And Erica. Started and established by Hai Weizmann. You know, he was the first president of Israel. And he said it's not enough to build. We have to remember also what happened to our people, to our nation. And they actually came and gave it to this famous Israeli artist, Danny Caravan. Famous Israeli artist. And he built here, if you look carefully, this looks like what? Like a scroll. You see the two handles that you open it like this. And what do you have on this scroll? You have the numbers of people that got burned and killed and massacred during the Holocaust. All those numbers that people have here, many of them have it here in this country. Here, so this is really, I think, a beautiful piece. You know, the meaning of it, of a scroll together with all those people, a scroll that means so much. You know, like the book, the Torah book, and all this means so much to Israel. And here we have those numbers of people that went to fire when they were holding this kind of book. And were burned and those kind of cemeteries. And this is this memorial built together with the Yad Vashem. Yad Vashem is the Holocaust Museum in Jerusalem. You will see it, so you understand what I mean. They sponsored the father to get it behind like with big locust trees, and this the whole area is actually we're coming into his home, the house where he lived in the beginning. Come here.
Have I been here?
It's nice.
No. You know, but
What does the word yad mean?
Yad hand. Now, actually, now the meaning Yad Vashem means hand and memory. What is a hand? A hand is a memorial, actually. It says in the book of Isaiah, Tafhei, over there, Tafhei, yeah, says, and I will build you a Yad Vashem. I'll build you a monument that everybody will remember it. That's why the whole name Yad Vashem Holocaust Museum came out from this chapter of the book of
They
Isaiah.
use Yad before other names too.
Yeah.
You said it on the way.
Yad Mordecai,
Yeah.
the hand of Mordecai, memorial for Mordecai and Elevich.
So, I'll tell you what.
straight. William Randolph Hearst. They have in.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, yeah.
I lived there for a year, so I know.
They
In
have
California.
when
we
you
studied there.
when you visit the Hearst Castle, they have a swimming pool he built indoors, and it's all for the big Hollywood glamour girls, you know, for the thing. Then a few months later, we came to Israel, and we visited Weissman's house, and she just a little bit of swimming pool, and what did she do at her pool? She took all the crippled children from the area to swim in that pool. She didn't go in the pool. But William Randolph Hearst built it for all the Hollywood glamour girls to come to his house. The difference. So it was just a few months apart, and it was.
Okay, let's go with it. Law? Yeah?
No,
Law?
without the vowel. No, I don't care. You can do it out of the
Чай.
Lolishka. Zachor, remember the bear.
Why isn't the
bear.
The bear.
Why
Remember
isn't the
and talk
bear?
about it.
Read it.
Following Adam.
Who's guys?
No. Okay. I'm showing Mommy. Okay, watch this out. Very careful. You have to let go of the
Why do we have to go to his
Ready?
house?
Ready, go.
This is in Yiddish here. This part is in Yiddish. Ausgemordert der Benim, the sons von Eretz Israel.
Music's on. I hit it again.
Egypt, all this around. Now that's where actually you see Hein Weizmann lived here, between the Sutra Street. All this wasn't like it is today. It was a little house between Sutra Street.
You might want to stick in Weissman where he lived.
Right. I got it done.
I thought it was one of the. Here, turn around. Here. Here.
Did you get a picture of this?
Simple, modest tomb.
Yeah, very simple. He didn't want any kind of fancy
No
things.
pyramids.
Nothing. No, he was against all.
Where was he educated?
Who, Hein Weizmann? England. England and came over here.
No, in front of that.
President.
Over here.
From 1948 till 1952, he was the president.
President. He was great, more of a ceremonial.
All right, stop.
Time. Go over there and make. Look.
Look at the camera.
Right here, right here, right here, right here. Wait, no, I want to move in front of it. Would you be on the tree to your right? Okay. Take a look there. Tell me right back.
What's that?
You got it down pat now?
Yeah, it shouldn't be any problem. This is what, the Weizmann? All right, Adam, you're cooking good.
You know, Zion, before the formation of the state, they didn't have a name for the Jewish state. Everybody called it Palestine or Zion. They never thought the name Israel would be the name
I
of the
just
state.
think that I take it up.
But everybody thought, see,
English money, lirot. 1,398 Israeli liras in this time. Time of Palestine, they call it still this time here. Anglo-Palestine Bank. English dollars. We donated it. Because you know how much money was it this time? Almost today, like $1 million.
Is that right?
Today. 1,390, yeah.
Well, when did they go? What was the shekel? The markers.
The shekel was changed about,
Cliff,
they started with the shekel 3 years ago.
I want him to see what the Western Wall looked like.
That's basically one of the economic places.
At their own will, only when they permitted them. They always permitted it, but you had to, if they wanted to stop, they didn't have free access. They always had access when the government would let them.
You know, Gene, behind the museum,
Mm-hmm.
they were doing research back there.
Is that right?
Yeah, there
How
were
much-
women in there with test tubes. I read this letter from Harry Truman to him.
Yeah.
Did you see that letter?
No, I didn't see it. In the library?
Yeah. Harry Truman was just re-elected president. Just in reestablishing or establishing ties with Israel and how they'll do, and the sorrow for all the agony that people have gone through, but, you know.
Right.
Gene, did you speak into the thing so you know where you are?
Yeah,
You're now
I'm
White
down, I
Institute?
mentioned it. What?
Now look at this, we came in actually from what used to be here in the Roman time. Center, the city center. You know, they used to go upstairs here, coming into lines of columns. And 2 lines of columns here. And this was actually, that's how it looked like. And you see here those columns, nobody planted them like this today. This was found like this.
That would be like the top of a column.
This was a column, yeah,
That
the
would be the
Corinthian or
top
the
of it.
Ionic and all days, you know, the Corinthian, you know, decorated so nice. Doric, that's what we found exactly here. 2 lines of columns were running like this in to the center over there where we found the most with the mosaic and everything, Atlas. And God of the Roman Empire was actually in the time of Herod the Great. Herod the Great, which is from somewhere 37 BC till 4 BC. This King Herod the Great existed, and he was a great builder. That's why they called him King Herod the Great. And what we see actually in the country is fresh water on the ground. You know, it's just kind of
Doric, Ionic, and
That's the top.
see what happened, מה קרה?
איפה זה האמפיתיאטרון? אין פה, נכון?
פה לא.
אז איפה? אולם הופעות, יש פה דבר כזה שנראה חצי איגוד?
משהו חצי גורן, חצי מעגל.
לא ממש פה, אבל בפארק.
הפארק עצמו.
כתוב, מה זה, נו, מה, איפה?
כתוב אולם הופעות שנראה כמו חצי.
זה ליד הים, שמה.
תודה. רגע, השם ישמור אחד את השם, החיים טובים וארוכים. ושם אין שום דבר לעשות בפתח. רגע, אתם מכירים.
Straight in 1951, 52. They found out very easy that this is a tail. What is a tail? A tail that is a city that has in it a heel actually, that has in all those layers of cities that were covered here during the years. You know, from earthquakes, from wars, and you know, war started, the city was destroyed. You didn't clean out and start to build from the lowest point. You had to build on the top of it. And that's why ruins on ruins on ruins came up like this, and this made it the shape of a heel, like kind of a tail, as we call it in Hebrew. So they found out very easy that this is actually the old part of this city of Ashkelon that is mentioned in so many sources. And digging here, coming down to this part of the city, which is a part of it from the Greek city, and later on above it, the Roman city. That's how it goes here actually in this country. First were the Greeks in the country, and later on the Romans came in 108 BC till 324 and replaced the Greeks here in the country. So we found those pieces of marble. Marble is actually something that we don't have in the country. We don't have it here. Everything is brought in from Italy. Every marble that you see the Roman built here was brought in through the ports from Italy. And this is one of the nice pieces that we have here. Over there was something like the same, almost the same. And this is the goddess of victory, Nike, standing on the globe that is being held by Atlas. See him over there? The same thing was over there. Two pieces like this on both sides with columns from all around. Granite columns that are not from here. The granite is being brought from Egypt somewhere. That's where they have the granite. The limestone is from here. All this is sandstone, like the sand dunes. After so many years it became so hard, so they used to cut off and build out of it. And this is actually a part of the city from the last more than 2,000 years that is being covered. It is still covered here. We found the tell itself also, the old field. It's a look at the sarcophagus over there, the burial boxes, you know, decorated so nice. We found here also in next to a school, not far from here, burial boxes describing the barbarians where they fought each against the other with the horses and the whole fighting, the whole war was described with a beautiful piece of marble that is one big burial box, you know, and this was found also under the sand dunes of this part of the city of Ashkelon. Now, looking around, and we'll draw later when we see it, all around on the top of the sand dunes over there is Richard Lionheart. When he came, you know, on those one of those missions, they came here and they captured the country. They wanted actually to liberate the holy sites for the Christians from the hands of the Muslims. That's the reason why they came and built here on the top of it a big city. So that's actually a part of it. Nike.
It says, were they all wearing, right, they're all wearing Nike shirts, they never knew it.
I knew that.
What?
The guy that beat in the...
No, it means victory.
I told you.
Okay. That sounded like Adam.
What? Wait till Uncle J. They can make somebody up in the tree. Right there. Erica, look what I found. Erica.
Going this way.
Okay, come on.
Hey kids, do you feel like you're in Israel now?
This is really amazing to think that things like this existed thousands of years ago, and here I am, Cliffy Gibbs, standing here where Greeks and Romans once lived.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's in Israeli side. It's still in Israel.
I know, but we can't go into Gaza.
We can go. But who wants to go?
There is in a park at Israel. Little fat climbing mountain or something. Around there's a picnic around a mile over there. A mile east. Is that right?
Come on.
Yeah.
That's important for them a little bit. Correct? See, we used to run up over there with children, but
Wow, that's
you
really
wanted to
perfect.
exercise a little bit? What do you think? You wanted to exercise a little bit?
No.
On the sand, no?
No
Okay.
way. It's like the shape of an animal, the side one, you know?
Okay. When you come to the end, start the other one over there.
I never came here. You ever here before? This is Ashkelon?
Ashkelon.
Never been here.
I just drove through the city.
You want to describe that?
All around. And what's on the other side of it?
In other words, the city is on the other side?
No, the city itself is not. Today.
It's not here.
No, the city was inside.
Oh, it was here.
So what they did actually, they surrounded it from all around by a wall like this. And what's on the other side of that?
Today is the new city, modern city. You know what became in.
Oh, okay.
What happened to the town from the crusade?
This is the Crusade Wall
Here, Mother has it.
Oh, no, where's
that protected the city of Ascatron.
That's what I wanted to go. Why don't we go? I don't understand.
Come on.
not going?
I'm
Where are
not
you
going.
going?
Stay here.
Take these shirts off.
Climbing up.
Okay, those are not going, you go straight
Right
down.
here, go back.
Yeah, climb the mountain.
Come on, Ian, get back up there. One picture.
Let's go, guys.
All right, fine, you go.
All right, who wants to go mountain climbing?
Kyle, isn't he from the Holy Crusade?
Yeah, that's all that is.
No, it does look new. What's that, Arthur? But this is a replica. They built it, but this is in the olden days when you study the Greek and the Roman civilization, outdoor amphitheater. And they had plays and speakers.
Oh, good description.
Get the camera. We're in Ashkelon.
It's already been said.
Did you say it?
Yeah, I know that.
This is a monument from the Crusades. The year about 1000 or before.
Don't do that.
Get the lizard in, Gino. Get the lizard in.
How's the view here?
Get the goats. There's goats over there. They went down. They went down.
Hello from the top.
Now look at the view.
You should have seen there was 2 goats up here.
Gorgeous.
Greg, let's see some other. Here, take a shot. There, right down. Greg.
What you see here, actually, you see those tankers. The big tankers here, they're actually the oil tankers. We used to bring the oil from Sinai before we gave it back to the Egyptians. So we developed the oil fields in Sinai. We used to bring the oil along the Red Sea to Eilat. In Eilat, we built a pipeline that was pushing up the oil into this area. From here, we took it by tankers. You see a tanker over there? Yeah. Into the oil refineries in Haifa, in the Bay of Haifa. You see the oil refineries in Haifa, I show you. So that's how we used to refine the oil over there and export oil. We used to send out oil, you know. Buying one side from Romania and Mexico,
So now,
on the other side exporting,
still in
because
use?
if something will happen to the oil, you have sources to buy. And this was shown in school because later on the Egyptians wanted the oil. So they are selling us the oil that we developed.
So now they're buying you up, and they're still using the pipeline and still going to the refinery.
But when you left the Sinai, you didn't destroy...
No,
what-
no,
Nothing.
no, they gave
This was
everything.
the agreement. This was
That
the
was the
sacrificing
agreement.
for peace from Israel, you know.
They made a total sacrifice.
Yeah.
Cliff, if you would see what they gave up between Sharm el Sheikh for the strategic point and
So you saw the
Yamit
settlements?
for-
You saw the settlements over there?
We spent
Cities
the
were
day
built in the middle of this desert. Cities, modern, beautiful, you couldn't believe it. With green fields and everything, you know, developing.
How long did it take you to develop it before you had to give it up?
To
as
give
part
it
of-
back?
Yeah.
We started in 1968. In 78, we had to start to give it back 10 years.
Yeah.
We made from a desert, we make it a paradise over there.
in Yamit, they couldn't get the
He
people.
was happy
The
for
army had
that.
to
He got
come in
there
and
all
get
this,
the
you
people
know.
out. They built agricultural farms in Yamit. You would not believe the hot
Nice city. I meet with palm trees on both sides.
and the beach, what a resort area to
This is
go
the
to.
only one place I was sorry that they gave.
Yeah, it's right
I
on
didn't
the
care
border.
so much about the rest of Sinai with the desert because I served enough over there in the reserve. I had enough every year to go back for 6 weeks there. But the Yamit, this was a...
Nueva to give back.
Nueva to here, Nueva, yeah.
Do you know?
You want Nueva?
Sure. You know.
He saw something, really.
He's going to be a tour guide when
You
he
know
retires.
the fella that had the gasoline station in Nueva, Sri Svet?
Yeah.
My best friend. He's coming to the bar mitzvah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, Sri. He lived in Mount
He didn't want to leave.
No. But he gave up his artificial lips, you know.
I know
That's
it
a
was.
long story.
This is a nice development. Boy, is it dry and hot though.
You really that hot? Yeah.
No, I'm saying for these people, they're used to it, but this is nice.
Yeah, these look like pretty expensive housing, I would
Yeah,
say.
contemporary.
It looks
No.
new. It looks very
Look
new.
at that round structure on the side of that brown one right there.
Oh, yeah. What brown?
Right there. That round, they send their kids out to play. That's where they...
And you can build your home according to everything, your style and everything. So it's not like
Substantial houses. It's like a villa.
Yeah, nice villa. Okay, this will be nice villa. You can imagine yourself. This was on the top over there. This watchtower. You can go up and find.
You want to see fancy houses?
Africa.
Caesarea.
Yeah.
We have a man, an Orthodox man from, and he drives around with a Volvo. He loves it.
Yeah.
He's doing his own thing, he says.
Next to the water, huh?
Yep. Oh, what a beautiful view from here.
Yeah. Look.
You still shooting?
This is gorgeous.
The battery still charges, so.
The only way to get up here is to climb up this hill?
Yeah.
Great cable car.
With the tractor.
Why are there all these shells here?
Well, goodbye.
800 years. Of a world. Here, yeah, less than 200 years we don't count. Less than 2,000 years.
Nana, he said he fought them off for 6 days here. They held the Egyptian army back for 6 days. And then they finally had to retreat to another kibbutz. But then they came back and fought and they recaptured this. And that's why this is part of Israel.
It's clear.
Greg, you're not allowed to do that.
Just want to feel it.
Yad Mordechai was established in 1943. It was named after Mordechai Amelevich, leader of the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. The first settlers of the kibbutz were from the Hashomer HaCha'ir movement in Poland, who came here before the Second World War. We are now standing exactly on the site of the battle, which took place between the members of the kibbutz and the Egyptian army. The border extended from the sea along the dunes to kibbutz Erez in the east. If we continue to follow the road, we can see the village Beit Hanun, and to the west, the town of Gaza. The border crossed the road before Beit Hanun. This road is the famous Via Maris, which leads through the Suez Canal to Cairo. With the declaration of the State of Israel on May 15, 1948, the Egyptian army started to march northward to the heart of Israel. They planned to reach Tel Aviv within a few days. From here, all the area along the coast road to the outskirts of Tel Aviv was populated by Arab towns and villages. Only 4 young kibbutzim are among them: Meron, Kfar HaDarom, Nitzanim, and Yad Mordechai. And of them, only Yad Mordechai lay directly on the road. The Egyptians attacked Meron and Kfar HaDarom between the 13th and the 15th of May, but failing to capture them, decided to abandon and progress to the north. On the morning of May 18th, the Egyptian forces approached Yad Mordechai. We had been busy throughout the winter fortifying ourselves against an enemy attack. At that time, we had 10 tent posts of a type you see here. On the eve of the battle, we managed to evacuate our children to Kibbutz Ruchama in Palmach Ahmed Kar. Kibbutz manpower consisted of 130 members, men and women, and 20 members of the Palmach. We had approximately 55 light weapons, 1 2-inch mortar, and a middle-sized Browning hand machine gun. That was our heavy equipment. We also barricaded the road by felling eucalyptus trees across it. The attacking Egyptian force was an infantry brigade of approximately 2,500 soldiers. They had cannons, tanks, armored trucks with mounted cannons, and 2 airplanes. By the early morning of May 19th, our kibbutz was under an aerial attack. Within a few hours, the kibbutz was in flames. We did not fire at the armored cars, but saved our ammunition for the infantry offensive, which began at noon and extended to the spot on which we are now standing. Until evening, the Egyptians tried vainly to capture this hill. Most of the Egyptian soldiers were killed or wounded near the fence. At night, we climbed the hill and took their weapons. This was a great boost to our modest arms supply. During the next 4 days, the attacks continued, but again in vain. At this time, our dead numbered 16 and our wounded 20. On the 23rd of May, the 5th day of the battle, the Egyptians employed new tactics. They pushed forward in tanks and armored cars, followed by infantry who fired in shells. Finally, they succeeded in entering the kibbutz in the tank that you can see here. They captured post number 1 after killing all its members. In our counterattack, the tank was damaged and could progress no further. After much bitter fighting, the post was retaken, and the Egyptians were forced out of the kibbutz. But our manpower and arms had seriously diminished. Our casualties were 23 dead and 35 wounded, and we were left with neither ammunition nor grenades. Without reinforcements, we could not resume fighting. We called for aid, but it was not available. Palmach headquarters began to evacuate the wounded, and we decided to retreat in the direction of Ra'am. Retreating was no less dangerous than fighting, since we had to pass close to the Egyptian lines under very heavy fire. By dawn, most of us had reached Ra'am. On the way, we lost a man and a woman who were carrying a wounded Palmach member. All 3 were captured and later killed after having been cruelly tortured. Thus, the 6 days of Yad Mordechai drew to an end, 6 days which prevented the Egyptians from advancing to Tel Aviv. They lost some 300 soldiers here, and their spirit was greatly weakened. These 6 days were enough for the young state to prepare a barricaded defense line, to collect arms, and to restrain the strength of the invader in the north. The Egyptians stayed in Yad Mordechai for approximately 5.5 months and destroyed everything. On the 5th of November, 1948, Yad Mordechai was liberated. The same day we returned and started to rebuild our kibbutz. Until the 6 Days War of 1967, we were an important defense post on the border of the Gaza Strip. After the great victory of the Israeli army in that war, Yad Mordechai ceased to be a border settlement. History of the kibbutz and particulars of the battle may be found in Margaret Larkin's book, The 6 Days of Yad Mordechai, which is published in English, Hebrew, Yiddish, French, German, and Russian.
The 60 War, or about 150 miles from here, the border ran away during the 60 War, because Israel kept the rest of it here down. If you look carefully, straight ahead of us, you see the red houses here? That's a kibbutz that was built after the 60 War here. Now you go straight ahead of us, you see some kind of a tower. Right. That's not the kibbutz over there, it's already in the city of Gaza. That's Gaza, yeah, that's over there, that's already in Gaza. And that's really how the situation was here. They were the first line here to protect the country here in 1948 until the 60 War. Now, of course, the border is further down more to the other side where the peace agreement was made. Now, the main road from the Suez Canal was this road. Look straight ahead of you. So, big numbers of tanks like this, you know, you see one of the tanks that came in here. One of the tanks made it and it came in here from back. But it came aligned with troops, with everything, all kind of weapons, with the Air Force. The Egyptian Air Force had in this time a few airplanes when we didn't have it. And he attacked here, and this was shut down here. This is one of them. But they were stuck here for 6 days like this. They couldn't continue because this was the main road. You couldn't go proceed if they didn't let you through.
But I don't understand how thousands of soldiers...
That's one of the miracles here in Israel, that nobody believes this. How can it happen, you know, something like this?
1,000 troops against 100...
130.
For 55 guns.
Yeah.
They had one machine gun. That machine gun was
And they came in, some of the Egyptian soldiers got killed here, some others came in. More and more.
the camera. No. That's it. Erica needs to take some shots. Stop it now before I... Thank you. I didn't say it was her. Go ahead, Mom. Get with the kids. I'm not getting any pictures with you. Just be careful, though.
Adam, just don't blow us up, Adam. Huh?
Look at here.
Greg, Adam, or Ian, can you get up?
Where's your snorkel? Where's your glasses?
Be careful. Get Adam, turn to us. Be careful, Ian.
Go, Adam, down. All right, Greg. You're the gunner, Greg. Greg, say goodbye.
Erica, look, Ian.
It's been nice knowing you. Erica, just go in.
Dax, look over here. Oh, look at over here. Erica. Ian, look here. Look here, everybody. Ian.
Gene, I gotta get a picture of this thing.
Put your head up, Dax.
Gene, look at me, please. Gene, I gotta get a picture of you.
Harold, here, go on top there.
Look, I can't. I'm just trying to shoot.
Go inside.
Erica. Ian boy. Hi. Ian.
Can you stand over here and I'll take your picture?
One, two, three. Up you go.
No, don't let him touch it.
Zachy boy.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Wait, stand there.
Stand there.
Smile. 1, 2, 3.
Hey. 1, 2, 3. Wait. One.
Come on out, boys and girls. Erica.
Come on.
Oh, no.
Erica, be careful.
And here they come, the Fighting Spatzes,
Ian.
followed by...
Up and out.
Wait, this is Gunnar Gibbs. All right, here comes Gunnar Gibbs. Nice going, Gibbs. Come on, Gunnar.
We creamed Hitler.
Oh! What'd you do?
You threw my hat.
Hey, stop.
All right, here we are
Adam, get him the hat.
in the zoo. Come here, Jay.
Adam, come on, no games on here.
It's a picture of chaos here.
Give him the hat. Here, Gregory.
Keep going up.
Geez, that. What is that for? What is that?
Did you get that?
Yeah, I got it.
That's bronchitis, my God.
It's a bronchitis. Hey, that's... I want to work the driveway.
Mom, this is the real thing. This is like,
Not the real,
this will be exactly the way it's supposed to
Oh
be.
my God. You have? Now you tell me. Don't lose your hat, Greg. Look at mine. Hey, Reebok. You're wearing Reeboks, huh?
The Mordecai Museum.
Oh my God.
Right now we are in the Mordecai Museum, very ancient, it looks like.
Mom, can you give us any background or history of this place?
Not me. I've been here. You know how many times I still don't know this?
So that this was after this terrible Holocaust. He came in, this kind of broken, destroyed. Those who were lucky.
It's only because that they did fight them and they were successful.
after him is actually named Kibbutz Yad Mordechai, Mordechai Anilevich, the commander of the uprising of the Warsaw Ghetto. What do you see in the Galilee? You know, beautiful Galilee, you see how green is the night. That's how it was in the beginning. Before they came. They are sitting here about it. They had ready the material, and that's how they built up immediately 11 settlements in the country here in the southern part of the country around here, the Negev, and they made facts that 11 new kibbutzim were established. Nobody could take them down, you know, because
they were there.
They built the house and that's it, so you could stay.
One house.
Yeah.
So these were the first Israeli camps then?
Yeah, here in this area, this south. And who built them? Who established them? Those who came out from Auschwitz, you know, ran away or something.
Are you going to put labels on them so let's say a couple of years we can look back and like let's say we don't want to look at some of the parts and just look want to look at like we could just turn to a certain number like fast forward or something?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly.
Bingo, what do you think of that tour? What do you think of it?
Library.
Holding the baby up, holding the baby up.
Coming to the mountain.
Zachary's Prince, they all went crazy kids. Why? They said well, they were too little. They went wild, but his... Give him the mic.
Who's singing over there? Who's singing? Shalom, shalom, shalom aleichem. All together. Rabbeinu shalom aleichem. Rabbeinu shalom aleichem. Clap your hands, all of you. Shalom, shalom, shalom aleichem. Rabbeinu shalom aleichem. Rabbeinu shalom aleichem. Rabbeinu shalom aleichem. Rabbeinu shalom, shalom, shalom aleichem. Shalom aleichem.
They
somewhere high so we'll be able to see the port and everything. But look at the style of homes and houses. This is European style. All this is what we are seeing here. With the churches, with all this kind of buildings, everything was rebuilt since the last 25 years. Ruins. This was ruins with sewage running in the streets.
Call me
and
Arnold.
everything. Nothing was here. So the municipality of Jaffa Tel Aviv turned it into art galleries. Now to buy, you can't buy it actually. You rent one of those art places. You have to be an artist, sculptor or something, you know, to rent one of those places and to live here. Of course, they have a coffee shop and all this. You don't have to be an artist. But besides this, everybody is almost an artist. And we walk through those narrow streets and see how each one of the streets is named after the zodiac. One of the names, you know, the zodiac. All this is sandstone. Everything is sandstone. Taken out from underground here and rebuilt.
Did you get this down that you're in Jaffa?
No, you just did it.
Oh. Just for the record, I want
Okay.
to know.
Well,
And this is an artist colony?
mm-hmm.
Architecture, old European style. Nothing on your mind.
I don't know, can you make it down the steps here, Lonnie?
Yeah, you wouldn't have been able to use this.
How old is that? So what time it is? Do you know where you are at the bakery? Where are you?
Kill myself.
I love that. Yeah, I was afraid I can't remember that. Loved it. Then there was another one that I loved.
Did you ever see the romantic stuff?
Yeah,
That was in
but when they made the sequel, I didn't.
Oh, I didn't see the other one. It didn't get such good
What, romantic? No, the other one. The after rated war.
Each one of the homes here, you see, is one of the houses. Was used for many, many years until they built the port of Ashdod and Haifa that you will see. So this was used, this today as a kind of a fisherman's port. Being used still as a fisherman's port.
Yeah, you gotta stand up here maybe. This was an entry port, fisherman's port of Java.
No, nobody goes to the mountain. You can't go in the mountains. Never went into the mountains. Went to Hebron. You know, 3 times. Well, I was on one time, that Saturday morning. Remember they shot those guys?
Be careful.
Watching?
Be careful.
My hair looks like I'm saying they're coming tonight.
Yeah.
What, yeah? We're all gonna eat. You're gonna join us with the children. The food is very good there, I'm telling you. They got music, they got a guy entertained. It should be lovely. They got hamburgers, they got pizza, they got...
No selection there.
Huh? We're still talking about food.
No selection, Ma.
Oh, there's no
They did.
selection.
We can eat, but we'll eat the fish again. But what are they gonna eat?
Let the kids go upstairs there.
Pizza, hamburgers, what's wrong with that?
He ate half of it, it was good.
You don't know the little ones so much. It's not the same kind of pizza. It's got chili in it.
I missed an important thing. What is in here now?
People living here.
Well, they do because I walked in, looked like it was vacant.
Galleries, everything galleries.
They live here and they got galleries here.
It looked like I saw a window box.
Look at the view.
Oh, I know, I know.
You come here tonight. You can't build this. This is right now.
We go here this side.
Tonight's gonna be a rock concert or something, yeah, see? Yeah, look at it. Setting up the tables.
You want to come here tonight?
Why not?
But they get finished.
Information if they wanna come over
They
tonight.
not, we'll come after them. Yeah, where are we? Turn to the hotel.
About 5 minutes down the road.
Yeah, but it's a big walk.
Oh, you can't walk here,
Come on,
right?
you can't walk here.
Public car park. Take a taxi, you know.
Yeah, but you can't leave the kids.
You can't afford it.
You can't leave the children alone, though.
Yes, you could.
They went that way. We're going.
No, we were here last time with Bill and Renalia. We had lunch here. What they have a reservation here? What they going to do?
Yeah, they have tonight the rock concert, yeah? Look at this cow on the roof here.
Gene, there's a gorgeous view over there.
Yeah, half sleepy because jet lag. Stay together, children. Don't spread all over.
Exactly, don't step on it.
This way. Come in the shade.
Oh, boiling it.
Yeah, mañana pasó que
I haven't got them on there.
What are you doing? Jack, can you be available? You took a nap, didn't you? Can you sing tonight, Avenu Shalom?
Aleichem, Avenu Shalom, Aleichem, Avenu Shalom, Shalom, Aleichem, Avenu Shalom, 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 Avenu Shalom, Aleichem, Avenu Shalom, 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 Avenu
He's showing.
Sing again, Zach.
Good job, Bright. Is that what it is?
He's taking pictures of us. He's focused on you.
Tel Aviv in the background.
Arab citizens here of Java. Even the Romanian, Jewish people make it also good. They live here and they make it good too. Bulgarian here, like this one on the right, is Bulgarian. And they have also good stuff, good food, Bulgarian. They came in big communities, big numbers. They like to live together in families, big families. Where's the Hava Nagila? Hava Nagila. Nagila. Hava Nagila. Hava Nagila. Nagila ben Ismecha. Hava. Hava. Hava Neranena ben Ismecha. Hava Neranena. Nagila, Nagila ben Ismecha, Hava, Nagila, Nagila, Hava, Nagila ben Ismecha, Hava, Neranena, Hava, Neranena, Hava, Neranena ben Ismecha, Hava, Neranena, Hava, Neranena, Hava, Neranena ben Ismecha, Uru. Rovahim lev sameach. Rovahim, Rovahim. Then we went to another place. How long to days? I said, in 6 months we built it. We can make it in 3 months. Then we came here to the Shalom Tower. You see it here on the right? He asked me, tell me how long did they build this building? I said, I tell you the truth. I didn't see it yesterday here. So those are the Texas people here. Look at this mosque. This is the mosque. It's an old mosque, that they are building it for the Arab citizens here of this area of Jaffa. They want to use it one day, God's help, and a part of it fell off. And of course, some of them say, on the Arab side, that maybe one of the Jewish people did it. Somebody, one of the Orthodox, maybe destroyed it or something. So the government wanted to show that they want to be nice to them, and so they started to rebuild a part of it. Is money from the government, and the other part comes from the Muslim citizens of Jaffa to rebuild this mosque.
hotel overlooking the Mediterranean Sea. A spectacular view. Opposite me is the Diplomat Hotel, about the same height. Look a little bit closer. Right there is where we spent the day yesterday, and now we're looking to play tennis. Unbelievable view. The rocks out there were man-made. They were built about a year ago to calm the tides coming into the beach. It's true, when you're out there, the waves are very, very shallow. Very popular activity in Israel is rebounding on a trampoline. Whoa. Great reliability suits. There's the Mediterranean. Here's my wife, Donna. Donna, where do you go from here?
I took that today. Wow. All those white tops, you know, Gene? All the roofs.
I haven't looked at that side.
Gotta get it.
Here we are on the 16th floor overlooking the city of Tel Aviv. Most of the houses are about 3 to 4 stories, but occasionally see a few high-rise buildings. Most of the cars in Tel Aviv are either Subarus, Fiats, which I wonder why, and believe it or not, Renaults. I haven't heard about the reputation of Renaults yet.
Everything he sees, unfortunately.
I know, that's what I said. And let me see, What?
I found another shekel on the floor.
Oh, is that right? All right, leave it to Greg.
Now he's gonna dig a house on the beach.
You got the stroller. He closed it up. Did I get it? No.
4 nights for 10 shekels. 4 nights for 10 shekels.
Okay.
Kids find everything of interest to everybody.
Let's keep going on the way back.
We're not going back. The bus is meeting. We're not going back.
את רואה את הדבר הזה? יופי.
שלושתנו, אתה מבין? לא. עכשיו...
צאן ענק, היה לו 2 חבילות 3 שקל, 2 חבילות 3 שקל, על הבוקר, לא ביום.
אתה ראשון, אני לא רוצה לבית.
להיות לך חשקש.
מגל, תשאל 2 שקל! לא יכול להיות! 2 שקל! הלו, גברת! מחלוק מסע 2 בשקט, 2 בשקט! 2 בשקט! 2 בשקט! הלו גברת! 2 בשקט, 2 בשקט!
היידה מרדונה, בולקירי, מרדונה, גברת בולקירי. Maradona, Maradona.
People of everything.
Aloriga, Catriga. Aloriga. Mexico, mira sto piano. Aloriga, Catrabarriga.
Ian Boy.
Time בשקט! הלו גברת, גברת! time בשקט!
They don't just have large. Get it. Ah, Rafi!
650, Donna. No, 650.
טוב, יש לי ספר בבית.
כל יום דבר כזה, רבותיי!
How much? Television?
What's that?
Huh?
Medium him?
That's what I take.
כמה כאילו 100. اسمع لا
איפה
טבע. חוץ לארץ?
Yeah, I'm taking it.
Speak Hebrew?
No, I don't speak Hebrew.
No. Israel
Speak
very,
English?
very big, very good, very well.
Yeah, it's a video.
שמש, איך אומרים שמש?
Yeah, you got a nice place here.
Space, ישראל very good in space, ים. היידה לקיץ, הרבה פריקות, וזול וטוב. I give you one. רגע, סליחה, טוב אותה.
These are for boys. You want to get
These are boys, they wouldn't wear sleeveless. We bargained. The Arab doesn't like it.
Right.
Go back there with the soldiers and take a picture of you.
Here we are after a hard day of shopping.
Wait, with the bargain, with the bargain.
Hey, you, please.
Hey, nice. Go ahead. Yeah.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Well, that's it. Come on.
All of them are, Lee. All of them.
Edith. Bye.
Oh, look how nice.
הנה, הוא יצלם אותנו. How about that, huh?
I got you.
Ready?
Just made movie stars out of you. Turn around for one more shot.
No, it doesn't move here. I'm not taking a picture of it.
I can't walk over there with you.
מה זה למעלה? מצלמה?
זה הדווק. הדמן.
כן, אבל לא...
The morning sun is really big.
I don't know which is whose. It doesn't matter.
Oh, look what he has a good one.
Okay, look at this down here. Pontius
So I don't need
Pilatus
to
and
get that.
Tiberium.
Do I?
That's actually the first time we find the name of Tiberium, Tiberius, the Caesar in Rome. This was his name, Tiberius. And of course, when they uncovered here, when they were digging here, 1964, they found a piece of stone carrying the first time the name of this Caesar, Tiberius. What happened is later on we have the city of Tiberius, you know, that we are going to stay there one night. That he was actually the Caesar in Rome, but the son of Herod the Great appreciated so much that he made him the king of the area of the Galilee in this time. So he named the city over there after him, Tiberius, or Tiberia as we call it in Hebrew. But the first time we really found evidence that a man like this existed, you can find in the New Testament, you can find many places, was really here when we found this piece of stone. But this piece of stone carries the name Tiberius and Pontius Pilatus, that was in charge of the area and everything, and went up to Jerusalem, to the Antonia fortress, and all this. So actually we found it here the first time. But this is the only one, and the only one replica. It's a replica, it's not the original one. The original one was taken to somewhere in one of the museums over there. It's kept there, so what they left here actually a replica of it. But it's still important, you know, to see the name Tiberium, exactly like they found it, and Pontius Pilatus, that we hear so much about him in the history books and everything.
Look at this line. Did you see this? Oh, it's
They prefer this place for tonight. There's maybe a concert or something here tonight. I didn't check. You can check at the entrance over there. What do they have tonight? But it's still in function. You see, after 2,000 years. In 22 BC, actually, Herod the Great built this place. He didn't start the theater. He started first the water system. As we will see later on, there's aqueduct. Was leading water from about 8 miles north of here, northern east. Leading water by gravity slowly into the city. From a spring named Dahlia, behind over there, Mount Carmel. And slowly by gravity running in the water into this city. This was the important point, you know, to start here when he wanted to build a city. There's plenty of water here, but this was salty water. You know, the Mediterranean is salty. So we're building this aqueduct. In the beginning, one channel on the top of it, This was a small city. Later on, the city was developed, became bigger. He built another channel on the top, so we had two big channels leading water, fresh, sweet water from this spring of Dalia into the city of Caesarea. It took him 12 years to build the city. 12 years, from 22 BC to 10 BC. And when he finished to build it, he had to bring in everything, actually, before it from Rome. Look at the marble all around, over there especially. What we see here down, the floor, was actually rebuilt. You see, this is limestone that is polished. But the rest of it, look around carefully, you see the marble pieces, the white marble is everything from Rome, all around over there. The seats that you are sitting, if you look back a little bit, you will see what is new and what is old. Look carefully, you see this upper stone, this piece of stone that you're sitting on it, was replaced a few years ago with the numbers and all this, the mark, you know, to make it comfortable to them to sit. Originally wasn't found like here, look at this here, this way. You see it?
The broken part.
Yeah, that's how it was. So it wasn't so comfortable for those people coming here and sitting on this. They suffered a little bit. They decided to replace it and to mark the numbers. But beside this and a few things that are switch over there, everything was found exactly as you see it. 3,000 seats, as ever you sit, you can hear marble is, the acoustic is excellent here. And this was covered by one big sand dune till 1964. And slowly coming, they knew about this place, but the problem was the money. And the moment the Rothschild Foundation gave the money, you could start, of course, to uncover it, and slowly, you know, starting and going from the top over there, and uncovering and finding the first row and another one, entrances and everything. We found a place where the king used to sit here, with his big sofa over there around, and watching them, and maybe sitting like this, eating those grapes. Who knows what they did here? But this was the place, and it was special stairs for him to go up, you see here, and sitting around. Coming in with the chariots. When you park the car today over there, they didn't have to park. They came in with a chariot all the way in here, letting them off there and coming in, filling up those 3,000 seats, performing there. The orchestra was down here, where those seats are today, especially for more gas, so they can make some more money a little bit on this summer festival. There's so many requests of people trying to get tickets, so you have to do something. And that's how they spoil the whole view here, by putting this kind of plastic seats. The generation of plastic, what can you do? Everything is plastic. The food will be plastic in another few years. I'm afraid so. But
they got all my kids in here?
Yeah. Then look to the stage over there. You see there's an entrance down. You know, you can go down this side and this side. This is the changing rooms of the actors. They used to come up like this and performing on the stage. This was surrounded by a wall from all around. You see the wall over there?
Yeah.
And the wall was actually because of one reason, you know, when it's really quiet and this little boy is not crying, so you can hear the noise of the ocean or the Mediterranean. But to stop it, especially in the concert all day, so they built this kind of wall around to protect it from all sides by a bigger wall. And this was a beautiful sight, really. They loved it, this kind of culture vibe. The Roman, this was a must to have in the Roman city, a Roman theater like the Roman bath or some other things that we know about the Roman. And this existed till about the year 66 AD, when they built it in 22 BC, started and finished in 10 BC. So till 66 AD, this was known as a nice big city when Jewish people and Christians lived together here. Then came the big fighting, you know, where the Jewish revolt against the Romans started actually here, in this place, in 66 AD. From arguing how, to whom to worship what, and this brought actually to the big Jewish revolt, the first revolt that we call it, you know, the revolt of Josephus Flavius that mentioned, you know, in his book, how they fought here and everything. Jewish people were defeated here, even all this, you know, they still lived here in the city. But the end of it was actually in 324, when the Romans disappeared and left this area. We don't hear about this city anymore, for almost about till the time of the Crusaders. When this Louis IX, the King of France, is coming with a big crusade and came in from Europe, from France, occupied this area and built a city on the top of the ruins of the Roman city, further as we see later on, and became famous as the Crusader city of Caesarea. till the end of the 13th century when the Muslims took over here, threw out the Crusaders from the country, and this was the end of the Crusaders for 200 years here in the country. But since this time, you know, what they built actually, the Muslims, was actually only this mosque that we see later on, the minaret with the mosque, you know, they prayed over there, and a few houses around, but then they left this place, never used, and never stayed in this city anymore. And so was it till 1964 when we uncovered this area, and we found it like you see it today. So this was actually an important site also for the Jewish people, you know, during this revolt against the Romans. How good is the acoustic? Where are the children? They will sing for us something. Come on. The bar mitzvah boy, the other 2, 3.
Get ready, Adam.
Come on.
What do you say?
Sing a song so we can hear you.
I'm here.
You want to sing a song? Go ahead.
Want to sing, Zach?
Come on. Over there on the
Sing
stage.
when you go down on the stage.
Yeah, he knows that.
Sing that,
Come over there
Zach.
to the stage.
Oh, they can go down?
They have to go down. They have to be.
Oh, they got to go down? Oh, Ian, you want to go down there?
Get down there and you
Go down
sing
on
up
the
to
Go
it.
ahead, doll. We'll let you know if we hear
Go on,
you.
Anna.
You know something?
Go ahead. Go ahead, Ian. Get your presents. Go ahead, Anna.
Adam, go ahead.
Hold
Get on the
Jackie.
stage here.
You can go on the stage. We'll entertain each other.
Go on. Go, hurry up.
Go ahead. Where's
Down there,
Erica? Go ahead down.
Yeah, everybody's going to go. Adam, go on.
Go ahead. Bring out the showman. Everybody.
Greg, go on, Greg. Come on, yalla. Let's go. Shake it.
Okay, you
Come
can
on.
leave now.
Go ahead, Erica. You're all
Jackie, why don't you go with them?
You go and stand over there on the stage. Okay, go up the stairs to the stage. And with a good voice, we want to hear you.
Make it real stealthy.
Make it nice.
Like on
Greg,
the
belt it out, Greg.
loud.
What a crew.
All right, Erica. Yay, Erica.
To the center.
Yeah.
They're very good.
More to the center.
Camera down.
Center stage.
Be careful.
Now silence and we hear them.
Okay, get together.
And the little one, yes.
All right. He'll get into it.
Okay, do it without him. Do it
He
without
wants to do it by himself.
He'll get jealous in a minute.
Okay.
All right.
Now, together and nice now. Face us here.
Come on,
Look
Erica.
up here.
You hear the acoustic? You hear the acoustic?
It'll be very timeless to say. That's why we'll say to that's very timeless.
We're wearing them.
Oh, yeah.
I was freaking out. I thought I was stopping.
We can climb up over there.
When they finish, throw the money.
I'll tell you, what a crew that is.
They really love that food. You don't.
Throw money, don't clap hands.
More.
Throw money.
I don't think so, guys. I don't think so.
Whatever.
There's a moon. There was a moon.
We're gonna do something.
They're doing something. They can make a parking lot.
Now dancing.
No, they don't.
There? They're dancing.
Sing Shalom Aleichem.
Adam,
All right, next group.
Okay.
You stay there, we are coming, stay there. We are coming down.
Coming down.
Yeah.
That's all right, I don't care. Yeah, sure. Be careful going down.
I'll go down this way.
Yeah.
Oh, don't
that's
go
right.
upstairs.
I didn't know that. I didn't see the steps.
For your camera? Yeah. No, I don't have any more left.
No more left?
Donna's got the last roll.
No, I can say, this is a pretty nice place, you know? I built the place. Yeah, that's the ticket. Good.
I didn't turn the phone.
I'll take your phone.
I haven't got a picture of them yet. I want to.
Only these out, the original stones, you see? They left it
You're on.
This is a pretty nice place, you know? I built the place. Yeah, I built it. That's the ticket.
You want to see backstage downstairs?
You know, vacation, it's a nice place. Well, I'm really, in Israel, a Sephardic. Yeah, that's the ticket. I'm a Sephardic.
Let's see. Oh, we can that. Yep.
I speak a little Hebrew, you know. I wrote the book on Hebrew. The Ten Commandments, that was me. It's all fiberglass. Want to see me lift one of these? Yeah, that's all right.
No, that was the original seaport where they came in. So I got some more.
See this? Only 10 minutes.
Get it there. That's what it's place. You know why
If you find them, can you take them?
firewalk over there? That's a real Roman style, look at it. Nice jar. You can find a handle of a jar here. This is one of the Indian areas. That is a piece of picture. This is...
Ian, I would take some of these home and label them for your book.
Yeah.
That has ridges too.
You sure you guys don't plant these things? Huh?
I did it. That's what happened.
Yeah. Huh? Look at this.
Is it good?
Huh. It's completely white. Look to the side. This has to be checked. I don't have really. Looks new.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
Well, a little bit, but on the other side it's different colors.
How about this one?
That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good.
That's good.
How about this? That's good.
Why does it say made in Japan on the other side?
Did you write down already? The jar? No, thank you. This is a
What
good
kind is
collection.
this?
That's when you start to collect.
What
Somebody
kind is this?
interested here in antiquities? Oh, we don't have a collector.
No. There's
No
got to be
collector.
another one then.
What?
No, this is not.
Here, I want to have it.
That's another handle, huh?
Yeah,
Wait
that's
a
another one. Where did you pick up this? Here?
Yeah, just there.
How about this?
Right.
You want to take it?
Oh, no,
Push the
no,
button.
no.
Push the button. Go ahead,
Well, I
take it.
take it coming out of the
Just push the
bathroom.
button.
A waste of film.
Don't worry about here.
No, I don't want to take coming out of the bathroom. They could do that at home. I want shots that you can't get.
We've gotten those also.
Come on, Gene, you take some shots like you could take on Victory Boulevard. Unloading the A&P truck or some quiz.
Where is it?
What a trivia quiz. What's the definition of a bagel?
Carol?
Oh, here's water. Greg! There's a water fountain over here. You want some water?
Hey, hi, it's me again. Let me introduce myself. I'm Shmuley, and I'm in charge
Cliff,
of
get
this-
your foot out of the
the
picture,
drive
huh?
this.
Get
See
out
this
of there.
right there? I did that. It took me about 15 minutes. Yeah. No more of that.
Listen,
Kill
you
me.
go to Dr. Lee's and He just takes the bunion here and he raises this
And he
takes it
crunches
back. In 2 weeks, maybe 6 months, you don't walk or half a shoe. Don't worry about it. You'll feel better.
Bill, after 6 months, your foot looks like that.
Right after an operation, this is the result.
Once we get this corn,
Wait a
when we
minute.
get the bunion, then we get the hammer toe.
No, listen, no. This is what my foot really looks like after.
Boats and the drawbridge, as we see it in front, this was a perfect, protection for the city of Caesarea when the Crusaders, built it and were afraid so much of the Arab Muslims. The Arab Muslims, they were much bigger numbers. And those Crusaders, the Christians that came from Europe, they came actually to follow the holy sites here for them in the Holy Land. And that's the reason how from 5 countries in Europe, they're coming in and building fortresses all over the country and settlements. And this is one of the strongholds of the Crusaders here. And this was built by Louis IX, the King of France, that was one of those leaders of the Crusaders here into the country from France. Here you see here, we stop in a second here. You look to the left. That's it. Now look carefully what happened here. When they used to ride in the Crusaders into the city, they came with the chariots like this, riding in on this drawbridge. You see the man is walking here on the drawbridge. Today it's like a bridge, not a drawbridge. But this used to be a drawbridge that if you weren't one of the Crusaders, they didn't let you down this bridge. This was hanging up like this high, and they had to turn it down and to let you in. This was one of the systems how to defend the city. The other system was that when you came to the end, you see, you came to the wall actually, and then you had to stop the horses and make a turn to the left. And this was built so nobody will attack you by surprise, the city, when the drawbridge, let's say, is down. And you want to rush into the city, you can't do it. You have to stop the horses, turn to the left, and that's where the gates are, the 2 big draw gates. And they used to lock it completely with watchtowers at the top. You see where the watchtower, the Crusaders were sitting over there with the long arrows and shooting out. And this was a perfect, really a good protection for this city of Caesarea. They had the emergency exits that they used to jump in from the back into the water from the city. And this emergency exit was actually under the water. Used to come out from under the water, surrounding the attackers from here, attacking them, jumping back to the water from the back, and nobody saw where did they come out from and how did they run away and escape back. So this is actually how they used the many collected heads and took it off. We found in many places statues without the heads. So maybe those were Jewish people. They didn't like to see a statue like this, that they used to worship this kind of statues. So they cut off the heads and they destroyed them. And this is one of the explanations actually that we have about missing so many heads in the Roman cities here. Is that where we found it? There's another one made of marble. 1800 years. The Roman statue is 2,000 years, so they just set it here, later on, the Byzantines, and made it so interesting. So you will understand what is it. Yalla, Sakadima. So, they wouldn't be so happy. Here's really bananas in the Roman city's gates. But the hippodrome is a Roman. So what happened, the Crusaders later on used it again, for their games and everything. And if you look carefully, you see where the bananas are growing, straight ahead of it, inside over there. On both sides were seats like this, both sides they were watching, and here they were running up and down, all the way to the eucalyptus trees and back. It was a nice size of a hippodrome, and the Roman sizes even, this was a good size. All this is covered today by soil and everything, and by the bananas. Israeli bananas on the Roman hippodrome.
Are the seats still there?
The seats,
will there be excavation?
If we will go down a little bit, I think that we find some of the seats over there. But they never uncovered here because the kibbutzim took over here and planted. And the commander of the northern
They're from Mount Vernon, Cooperberg.
Yeah.
He's got his own shul outside the backyard.
Here. And Caesarea, the modern one.
Look at these.
Look at this, Erica.
Yeah.
Look at that. Arabs, all Arabs.
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia.
Oh, nice.
Look at this pool here.
Nobody has a pool.
Oh, they have balls. They have balls all over.
Oh, bull.
Jewish Arabs.
What did you say?
No Jewish people. Just don't believe the father too much.
Did you see that people had a lawn? They facaded the whole thing. It was gorgeous green, thick lawn.
Nice, huh?
Anything for sale? We could go take a look. Maybe make him an offer.
I always wanted a
There are low ones down there.
Severe is close to the end. Get a house like this, very pretty. They build it.
Look how landscaped.
It's because that they don't build too many swimming pools because you are so close to the Mediterranean here. They walk down and down the water, so I like it better.
Like Fire Island, you know?
Yeah. No, it's price here goes between 250 and. Stand over there, like the one next to this sign. You see the
Right, and see the channel.
bathing forbidden?
Right.
From there, you see the channel and
Channel,
everything.
right.
How it goes up like that. Take care of the kids so they don't get lost here. There are too many people around. So.
Greg, come on.
What we are looking actually to is this Roman aqueduct of Caesarea that was built by Herod the Great in 22 BC. And this is running from here, like you see it, all the way through the sand dunes over there and comes out to the other side to Mount Carmel, which is straight ahead of us over there. You see the range of Mount Carmel, part of this mountain, sticking out from between the trees. That's where the spring was, and that's how they got the water actually from there and slowly running in this water into the city. And this aqueduct, on the top of this aqueduct, were the two channels. One was destroyed to the left, but you see the one on the right, how this was running in slowly water into the city and supplying plenty of water for this city of Caesarea. The arches were built so that the water could come in slowly, you know, into the city without running out and over the city.
Dad, could you give me a boost up there?
Yep. Oh, Cliff. I even got the...
Dad, get me up there. Turn around, I gotta get this. All right, go get the house. Dad, give me a boost up
We're at the aqueduct. You see this? I built this.
You want to buy this?
You know how we do with this? All the water comes all the way down and goes into Brooklyn.
It's clean water, right?
Yeah, it's clean. Okay. It's not as interesting as you thought, huh, Erica?
We want to go to the Baha'i Temple.
Okay, here we go.
It closes at 12 o'clock. Erica, come on.
Pick your head up, Erica.
All right, what a shot. Yeah, that's...
Take your visor off. Take your visor off.
Come on, Hollywood.
Oh, beautiful.
Today. start trying to find some topless...
Let's get in there before they close it up. Come on, Gene. Before they close it up.
Where are they going?
Dean,
Yep.
I'll leave your camera here.
Okay.
Nice. I never went in. You don't let in anymore. What do you have else? Books over there?
Administration.
Yeah. Yeah. Looks like the Acropolis. Looks like the Acropolis. Really? Okay, thank you. Good to see you.
Even at the Taj. Maybe.
Ian's facing out of it. Burped again. Second time she burped outside. Because guess how to look at Cal doing that? Who's doing her stupid
What?
face?
Who's that?
Cal was doing her stupid face. She's wrong. Look at this guy.
You can go down the stairs here, make a good shot here. This area. One more, the whole stairs?
Dean,
Right here.
Dean, come here. Can you get
The best, the best.
No, that's far enough, Don.
Oh, that's nice, Dan.
Too far for this camera. Come back up.
Yeah. Up to the center here.
Right to the center. Gene, you want to get in there with her?
Yeah.
Come on.
Want you to pick up some of you? I made yesterday pictures with some people with this kind.
Anyway, you just let it go. It's on. Just point it.
You have it here,
You
yeah?
don't have to even put it.
That's it, yeah?
It's on. Yeah. Don't even hit it. As long as the green light's on, it's on.
Don't push anything.
Don't push
You're in the
anything.
picture then, Bob. He's taking you too.
Yeah. Ah.
You get Bob's back. That's good. Bob looks good.
Ah.
See if you can get right down that shot there.
That's what I'm trying, yeah.
All right, come closer. You have to come closer.
Donna, you go there.
That's it. Yeah, that's all you can do. I'll move to the side.
Yeah, that's good now. Yeah. Woo, this is good. This is
We can gauge, right?
Dynamite.
Gauge on this one, right?
this is dynamite. No, you can make big business in it.
That's the city of Haifa down there?
That's the city of Haifa with the harbor and everything.
Right.
It's automatic focus, yeah?
Yeah, automatic.
Yeah. Oh, you see the forward, you see everything, yeah.
We can just press. I think they want us to go.
Yeah. Okay. American television. That's gold. Look at this gold. Pure gold. See the gold there? You take off a piece. You don't need it.
You take one piece, we can retire.
Yeah.
Marty, who keeps up this place? Who's
Baha'i
responsible?
Foundation. The Baha'i Foundation, which the big community of them is actually located in Chicago. They have a big number in Chicago. They have also big temple.
Is it Indian? Is it Indian company?
It's not Indian, it's Iranian.
Iranian.
They started actually in Iran, you know. There are
Right.
many Baha'is now, and the Iranian, the Muslims are massacring them. They kill them now in Iran, the Khomeinis.
This is a cover on the tree?
Yeah, to protect it.
Well, the people were writing on it, that's why.
They were
writing their names.
Is there, you see the big building? That's where they build also the Baha'i. You see the round temple?
Oh yeah.
Also belongs to the Baha'i. The
Now
Baha'i
this is the
shrine.
main seaport of...
Yeah, of Israel. Yeah, yeah.
It's unbelievable.
It used to
We
be.
missed the boat. We would have enjoyed coming just for that.
Yeah, you see that tanker down there? That's my tanker.
See, look down. You see how beautiful this Haifa? We're on the top of it actually. You see, looking down to the bay, to the port of Haifa. And you see the bay goes around like this. That's where we are going to drive in the afternoon. To drive around this bay and to the other side where it's so hazy. Straight ahead of us over there. That's actually the border with Lebanon. Here on this side, so close to the city of Haifa, you can't believe it sometimes. But it's along the bay we drive and come to the other end over there.
I think it's far.
Hmm?
What a view,
far.
huh?
Yeah. It's hazy a little bit. So you don't see really well.
Oh, here's where you looked out onto the water from the gardens there.
Yeah, right behind us.
Yeah, right
This
down
way,
there.
see
It
that
looks like a
road?
bridge right over. There,
That you
there's
got
no
a flower in your way.
There's no naval ships in here now.
Today from American Navy? No.
Usually they have quite a
Usually
few
they come
now.
in here, yeah. They were here till about 2 weeks ago on vacation.
Are you filming?
Got an aircraft carrier
You see it,
here?
you see it
was here,
blinking?
yeah.
Did I let you visit
Get
it?
out of there. My God.
Huh?
Cliff,
They do?
your son's ruining
Hey man, get out of the way.
I'm not running
a
nothing.
great movie that
Doing that
has
on purpose all day, I think. no?
unbelievable. Jeez. I'm gonna have to edit that part out.
Yeah.
That's the Haifa Rambam Hospital over there.
The new building?
Yeah.
That's the Rambam Hospital? The new one, though. They had an old one.
My, that's Lebanon on the other side of the water?
On the other side of the water is Lebanon.
Adam, come here. Throw him onto Lebanon.
It's not too bad.
Well, you'll be right on the border with Lebanon
Right.
today.
We'll be tomorrow on the border.
Yeah.
We stand on a good fence. Look over the border. They have cruises sometimes coming from Egypt into this place. You know, ships coming, cruising Egypt, Israel, Greece.
Oh, the
So they
cruise
come in
ships,
here,
yeah. Oh, Zachary, come on now. Over here, quick. We have to go to the...
Until now, we're
Miami Beach is over for now on.
No, we were always going to be in Israel.
How long a ride did it take you?
For about 4 hours.
Miami Beach is finished.
About 40 minutes.
יאללה, יש התנגדות? זה נפות בישראל, ירושלים יותר שנייה חיפה.
יש לה משהו מיוחד, אבל אין לה ים בירושלים.
יש שם מלח.
שלא יפה רואים את ים המלח.
נסענו לבהיים, נסענו לפנורמה, נסענו פה קצת כזה.
כן, אז הם ראו קצת את ה... יש עכשיו גם... But now look at summer, you don't feel it at all.
No.
Are you getting flights?
Going to be in one spot.
I was going to get Anya to do camp, and I can't get her to stop doing camp. It's like Greg with the baseball. It's true, I didn't teach her to do it, but I actually used it. I had to get Anya to start. Just always remember those.
זה לא כל כך גבוה, זה בסך הכל 500 מטר מעל הים. אבל זה שתי מעלות.
For us, it's not what they do. It's not like it is here.
Last night, was it cool outside? אתה לא מבין. אתה חושב שאני לא קובטריות.
בירושלים.
Girls, nice meeting you. Okay, have a good Miami.
Okay.
Oh my God.
There's a message in here.
Yeah.
Save it for Pesach. You wouldn't have red tape. You wouldn't have red tape.
Mine away.
Oh my.
Push it out.
Having a break the lens.
Oh.
My fingers are ready.
I don't know what's there. I'm afraid
Bring it on air, so.
to do something.
There's Scotch tape there, Mel. I think it's scotched together.
Ah, she's right.
Must be scotched.
Yes, here. Yeah.
Oh.
Tissue paper.
Oh, my God.
Oh my God.
Pesach thick dishes. I knew it. Special the Pesach.
We had to bring it on the airplane so it wouldn't break.
Phyllis, she wanted you to open it because she picked it out for you.
Oh my God, it's beautiful. Look, everybody.
Oh, you picked it out, Erica?
It's beautiful, really.
Hmm?
Very nice.
Very nice. Okay.
Thank you very much.
No, don't do that.
Thank you very much.
We will see you.
Want it?
No, Ian.
Killing my cue.
All you get is people's back, so you can
It's the baby bubbles.
Dog bone ice cream.
Want to come to the Frank's Million?
Now we'll prepare it especially.
Villa, we'll see you for the Frank's Million. Thursday, huh?
I'm sorry, I'm going away.
Me too, me
Did you
too.
eat at Lynch's? It's all made on your, what you gave me as a present.
Breakfast at the Plaza.
That's right, that's what makers, especially I made it. Because you gave me this present.
Oh, is that it? Delicious,
Bye.
everything. See you Thursday.
Right, oh. It's Dorit's brother.
That would be wonderful. Bye, girls.
We'll see you Thursday.
Yes.
Okay. Jean, don't fall.
What am I going to do with that thing? Anybody want a wife?
I didn't want to tell you where it is.
He didn't know.
When I spoke to you, you closed the telephone, then I wanted to tell you, tell the brother to get in touch with me.
No, he says he knew where
How to go.
He only asked one
So
guy.
easy way to know how to.
Oh, yeah, like everything else.
Yeah, like everything else.
I want to take a picture.
That old woman?
Hey, guys, let's get on the bus.
Wait.
We'll stand here.
Come on, he's taking
Greenery, near the greenery. But we have to move, no?
We have to move. Okay, let's talk.
You want us to move?
Okay, Jean, very good.
Okay.
Okay, now we'll take a picture. Erica, you want to take a picture?
She wants to take a picture. I'm not very photogenic lately.
I don't know. We have to see what it looks like.
Are there going to be any more bad guys?
Boys, read the, where you're going into it here. What is it a museum of?
Just think.
Yeah.
Savage.
I know one thing, you like to sleep.
Sometimes they leave the kids here.
Wake up.
Boy, Jean. Aren't you getting
This is
tired?
attached to me, Carol.
Huh?
It's now.
We do owe you for these services.
I know, you're right.
Constantly doing it.
You're right.
Everywhere we go, need a break. Somebody should take over.
Told him, all he's got to do is say, here, do it.
You sure this is a Midnight Express?
For young people just starting out.
This is a Midnight Express.
Condominium for 75 grand.
Let me see. Oh, that's nice.
This, you could do wonders with it. Just call up
Good way
Villa-
to spend a lifetime.
Call up Villa Reshef and she could fix this place up for you. A little condo, 75,000.
Who was in prison here?
The Irgun, the terrorists, the Jewish, Menachem Begin's crew.
This was an English prison or a Turkish prison?
It was English at that time.
Looks like
And it was the Turks built this.
Right, I'll tell you something. This prison looks like Midnight Express.
No, the Turks built this prison.
Yeah. This is
Then the
unbelievable.
British took it over.
The archways and the columns. Istanbul, Turkey.
Like a Midnight Express.
Right, exactly. Remember the prisons were underneath
That's what that movie, I've seen it 3 times on TV.
Yeah, it's a
2 or
great
3.
movie.
It upsets me every time.
I know, yeah,
How
it's-
he could have had to endure that over
Yep.
nothing. Remember at the end when they walked that thing, the circle, he was in the insane
Right,
room?
yep.
The gallows, Erica. That's where they hung the people.
Talk of this prison was from outside and inside, and altogether made it that many prisoners actually escaped on this day and made a history. That a prison that nobody believed that somebody can escape from, they were proud in it, those British. That from this Akko prison nobody can escape, and nobody escaped till today. Well, this Etzel Irgun made it actually when they blew up. There's the wall over there, and they jumped over and they jumped down and escaped from here. This was the place where they used to count the prisoners and checking if nobody, is missing or something here in this courtyard. Used to bring them out every morning, and before going into their rooms, they used to count them here. You can imagine yourself how was it for those Zionists that fought really for throwing out the British from the country, to feel close around in this kind of Turkish prison, when in the British time, of course, yeah, but built by the Turks, and looking over, hearing the Arabs over there praying in this mosque of El Jizar. This is where, inside this mosque, or outside in the yard next to this mosque is buried this ruler, Ahmad El Jizar, that was known also as the Butcher. So it was a kind of a strange feeling for a Jew to sit here in this Turkish prison, surrounded by Arab citizens around, and to feel that the freedom was taken away from them by taking them into this kind of rooms that they stayed here. They slept on the floor, and you see it wasn't a mattress, wasn't nothing here. The food wasn't a food, and this was really kind of a suffering, place for all those that were captured by the British and brought into this area. This was one of the reasons that brought a lot of hate, actually, this prison against the British, and brought that many people that weren't, members of the Irgun and came in as newcomers to the country this time, and volunteers share immediately as a part of those Etzel Irgun movement, and started to fight against the British. Many of them found themselves later on, of course, here. The first one that was hanged actually in this prison was Ben Yosef. Ben Yosef was one of the good friends of Shamir and Begin too. Of Shamir, the one that's going to be the prime minister, which is the foreign minister now. And what he did actually is one thing. He was a member of the Irgun, of the Etzel, but one day he decides to put an ambush against a caravan of trucks or cars of Arab trucks going down from the mountains of Tzfat. On the way down, as we would drive later on, from Tzfat down, from the city of Tzfat. And instead, the British, the Arab convoy came down, he attacked them, but behind them was immediately a British escort. And they picked him up immediately, they caught him, brought him in here, and he was the first one actually hanged here in this room, the hanging room that you'll see later on. And this was third country. No, this was a big pleasure. The best everybody was under Turkish at this time. So this quote actually later on that in 1947 they had to escape from this place. And that's how the whole thing became so famous and spread all over. And later on, because of the hanging of the others and all this, the British government was sitting for a few days and deciding what to do. Maybe we have to leave. We suffer so much there. We have so much critics from all around, all over the world. Russia was in this time with Israel, because Israel was a young country. And they didn't know that Israel is so strong, would be so strong later on, otherwise they wouldn't support Israel. And Russia and many other countries actually, and Truman, if I remember well, was the president here at this time. He also attacked the British government, and this brought actually the later on, they picked themselves out and they took themselves out through the city of Haifa, through the port of Haifa, and left this area. This one, it was the end for the British mandate. This was for From the War of Independence, actually a year later on, from 1949 till about 3 years ago, mental people, sick, were here in this prison. Not in the prison actually, but in the rooms around. They didn't have a hospital where they kept them, so they decided, there's a place here, let's put them in. This was the whole time when the Labour was in power. Then when Begin, took over, he said, oh, it can't be like this. This is an important side. We have to bring it back to what it was. And that's what you see now, actually. They are rebuilding the whole thing, repainting it and making it to this be a
So he
great
didn't do it for humanitarian reasons?
He just did it because
He did it because of opening the prison for public to let people understand what was here and how the British kept actually those prisoners of the Erzgebirge. This was the reason.
What was the population of prisoners?
Here,
How many?
there was a time.
You mean during the time of
In the 47 you're in?
Yeah.
Probably full.
Yes, this was always full. Always full. This was the problem. They had between 400 and 500 prisoners, always. Yes. And the guards and the Arab guards and everything. Well, the story is something that one of the Arab guards was also getting a lot of money to help them to bring in some of the dynamite because through the food that they got like from visitors. And he brought it in, and later on, this helped to blow up this prison. What do? We go into the hanging room, and then we go all around through the rooms back.
You weren't allowed.
Weren't allowed to have anything.
You'd be arrested.
So what could you do? Go like this and be shot by the Arabs in the streets? So you had to defend yourself. And defend yourself means that you could be caught by the British and put...
Come here. I was taking a picture.
Very good. Okay, here we have some of the pictures here. You see them all around here for those prisoners that were brought into this area. This is the first one that was hanged by the British. You see, Shlomo Ben Yosef, the one that was captured over there next to the city of Tzfat. You see, he was buried. It's written here in Rosh Pina. Rosh Pina is next to Tzfat exactly because he was a citizen of Rosh Pina. So that's why he put the ambush over there next to Rosh Pina against the traffic of the Arabs. On the way down, he was caught by the British. Here was the visitor window. For those who were waiting for to be hanged, they were kept here in those few rooms. 1, 2, another one over there, 3 rooms. And they could receive visitors only, for a few minutes, and not meeting them, only talking through the window, you see. Never coming out or something. They were in this kind of special clothes, ready to be hanged. And that's how they could see them the last time, the family or somebody here. And this is one of the rooms, you see, before they took them out to the hanging place. Locked completely. Here you have the other names of those that were hanged here by the British. For example, this Mayor Feinstein, you see how they did it? The floor was this. You put over this hanging band around you on your neck. And then we just pulled this handle. The floor was open and he was staying like this and hanging down there. And then we moved because the family buried himself. Here we have some of the names of those that were hanged here by the British. Again, the first one was captured over there. This ambush against the Arabs. Shlomo Ben Yosef is the first one.
Any women in this prison?
What?
Any women in this?
No. They were here, but not here. They kept them in the prison in Jerusalem. Some of them captured by British rifles or They know, they never made it.
With your police
This was so much fun, they were great.
Can you climb up the bushes? No.
Climb up this wall.
No.
Zach,
There's steps.
Even if a prisoner tried to escape, which
Right, they couldn't escape from
you see
here.
the high walls?
Yep.
They weren't going anywhere. They never thought anybody would ever break out.
Well, how'd they ever get out?
Ma, why don't you stay down? This is a lot of steps. Stay there with her. You've been up here, haven't you?
No. Oh my God.
She can always end up in all the rooms back. It's like the press backs into him. He doesn't know I'm there. You know, he's always like this, like a robot.
Sorry,
Are they
Carol.
coming, Carol?
They give a show about the prison. How's everybody coming up?
Okay, Greg. One more, two more.
Oh, yeah.
No.
This courtyard?
No, this was a place where they used to give a little, like a little theater about
Oh, I see.
the whole program about the prison,
Right.
what was here and everything. So people used to sit and watch it on the stage. You see the stage ahead of you. Are you okay here in this high level? Are you? That's all.
All right, we're on our way back down, so it's all right. You're gonna be
All right, let's
inside.
wait for the
Now
folks.
we're going in.
Just look this way. You're gonna be going
high.
inside.
No, not serious. He warned me to do it.
Greg, I don't like how you're holding the camera.
Oh,
Holy
What, your height thing?
This isn't that high. It's scary. Look at. Did you go out on your terrace, Carol?
Huh?
In the hotel?
Yeah, it got to me.
That's high.
Yeah.
Outside,
No, this
that's
is not
19
high.
stories up, 20 stories high.
Whatever. Yeah.
Okay, kids. They're back on the bus. We're absolutely dripping wet.
My stomach
No,
is
no, it's further. I'll figure the
16 and entrance.
the entrance, the lobby, the restaurant, and then you got a basement, and then you got another level down.
No, that's worse thing.
Yeah, entrance is the main lobby. I'm looking down towards the beach.
Now, when they escaped here, they had the dynamite. They went right out to the Mediterranean Sea.
Well, hurry up in here, it's cool.
I'm coming.
It's nice and cool in here.
I don't know why everybody has to be. So stay on that. Touching his face. They don't leave him alone.
What do the numbers mean?
yeah, I will let them all come in so I can read out a few dates here. Important dates of Acre.
Well, these are dates?
The city was actually mentioned already in 1700 BC by, we found sources of letters in the southern part of Egypt that are mentioning this city of one of the pharaohs that came on a journey to Megiddo, and later when he continued all the way to Acre here. This was, you see, in 1479 BC. All this is BC till here. It's BC actually. So they count all those people that were capturing the city of Acre. Now we see one of the famous people is the commander of of the family of the Hashmonai, Maccabi family, Yonatan the Hashmonai. You see here, was it so last 143 BC, you know, Jonathan the Hashmonai attacked the city and captured the city. Then the Greek legions came in, and after it, we have in 638, like all over the country, this city of Acre was also 638 AD already, was captured the city by the Arabs, and this became an Arab city, till again Egyptians came in 871 AD and captured the city back from Arabs, the kind of also Arabs that came from Egypt actually. The Rambam visited this city, yeah, in 1165 AD, Rabbi Moshe ben Maimon, yeah. Then Benjamin of Tudela, he was a famous traveler, this Benjamin of Tudela. In 1170, he traveled in the country and mentioned, you know, in his book, you know, the travel of the Holy Land, he says. And he mentioned many places the Jewish people came and worshipped there, the tomb of King David and here. So he came into the city of Acre too, here in 1170. Saladin captured the city in 1187. Saladin, a famous leader of the Muslims. The Ramban was sitting here in 1266. Then the city was captured again by the Mamelukes in 1299, also Egyptians. Then in 1516 is the beginning of the Turkish period here in the country, and that's when the Turks are coming in and they're building this prison, and became so famous later on. Ahmad al-Jizar, this ruler that we saw his mosque over there, this al-Jizar, in 1775 came and he went up to this tail and trying to, with cannons, to attack the city. The Turks were smart enough to have their cannons on top of the walls around, and of course he couldn't capture the city. He left, suffered very much. Many of his soldiers of Napoleon were left here in the battlefields, sick and wounded and dead, and that's how he escaped. Along from this side, exactly at the opposite entrance, he was trying to attack this place, and that's how he left back all the way down to Egypt along the coast here.
When was this prison built?
This prison was built actually by this Jizar. Jizar, where is he here? 17 here, 75. 70, 75, Jizar here. This is Jizar 70, 75. And after it, we have here some of the dates when the prison became, you know, an important site. As the first prisoner, Jabotinsky, yeah, Zev Jabotinsky, and other prisoners from Jerusalem were brought over to this area in 1920. 1938 was hanged the first prisoner, Shlomo ben Yosef.
Please.
What?
I can hold it.
Hold what? I'm talking about the camera. No.
Erica! Erica!
What you should do also is focus in on the bars, and then what'll happen is you'll get a shot, a very blurry vision of the mosque. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But you know what you'll...
Dad, what do you want me to take a picture of?
Come on, guys.
Clip.
By the door, huh?
Unbelievable. It's got to be an original.
Mom, what's the camera doing? It's rewinding and finishing.
Yes.
Where's Ekaterina?
What number is it?
Let's go.
stuff down.
Is that good?
You pressed the wrong thing.
Yeah.
See? I'm gonna get the picture of the ocean with that tower.
Your shoelace. Where you trip?
It's it down. It's all over. This was a planned prison sentence for you. You're in here for the duration.
Follow me, God, don't ever follow me.
It's true, Cliff. I lost my head.
You don't know her by now after all these years? Aren't you done?
She pressed the wrong thing.
Anyway, can I think I was reading? These three men were condemned to die and wrote a letter to the United Nations asking them No, let's go back to where we came in.
That's right, Donna, that's that way. You're real sharp. I see your sister takes after you.
Oh, yeah, wait a minute, you're right.
I think Donna likes it in here, Cliff, you know?
Huh?
I think she likes it in here.
You're right, we can do this.
Stay here.
You're right, Telling these people, come on kids, meet some, it's a whole other group of people talking behind me.
I'm trying to be a tour guide here.
It's like on WCBS FM. Where am I? Who am I?
You know what? What?
So I showed him jewelry.
Hey, Zach. Ma. You love me, Zach?
All together, like 6 never answered back.
A couple of people asked me that question. We shouldn't be having those.
Hey, Zach.
Oh, look at that mountain.
Talking about his girl that he liked, and he bought a jewelry and everything. And my father got it on video.
Stop it, Erica.
Her name was Susan Malazzo. And Gregory was deeply in love with her.
Then we have the highest one.
And Erica is unmarried. Everybody knows Erica is
Cliff sang. Yeah, that's the ticket. Yeah, that's the ticket.
See, this is a big Arab town here. On the Israeli side, on the Israeli territory, it's not on the West Bank. It was always Israel. They were always here. Look at the colors. You see them in Italy? See what they do? Green, blue, red. And they actually also started with those little homes. Look at this. See the old ones here now? That's what this was till about 15 years ago. 15 years ago. They got the big push, actually. And the big development here was the last 15 years. They built all over. They have many children, really big families. Some of them 10, 12 children around here. So what they do actually, they build one and double gallery. See, on pillars, look at this, like here. Here, for example, on the left, you see this house was destroyed. Look at on the left here. Destroyed by the municipality here because they built without a permit. And they warned them a few times not to continue, and they continued like this. So one day the police came with the municipality and blew up the whole thing, took out the citizens and everything that belonged to them, blew up the whole building, and that's it. But look at this rocky heel. Look at this how when you have to build something, that's a little industry, I believe that. It's really a rock that you can't believe it. It looks like it's growing here. See? Like somebody planted it. But this is a good foundation for the houses. You can never sink down, you know, break a little bit. This is the best foundation. So if you build here, what you have to do is actually straighten out the land a little bit and build on the top of it. So this is the big village of Majel and Krum. And about 10,000 citizens here when they started in the year 100. Reminds you a little bit Mount Carmel. Here, so immediately we built here opposite them a town, so they will not be controlling the roads. And this is a really serious point because we had some problem. We will control the roads, highways all. See the private homes here that we see on the right here.
Oh yeah.
The city actually started almost about almost 18 years ago, the city here around Carmiel. When the private homes here were built the last 5-10 years around this area, those few private homes here, it's a kind of a system that what you do is actually you give them this piece of land and they can build their homes as ever they want here. So you do it by yourself or you give it to a private contractor and he will build it for you, you take care of it. And that's the city that lived here that was smart enough to understand that nobody would throw them out. And that's really one of the propagandas of the Arab countries. You see Albi, there's the sophisticated equipment here on the right. One of the propaganda of the Arab countries is that Israel throws out Arab citizens from the country. And here is the best proof that we didn't do it when all those Arabs that live here, they were smart enough to understand. And if they will not run away, nobody will chase them out of the country. And there are really those rich families today here between the Arabs on the West Bank and the Arabs here on the Israeli territory. It's a different like day and night. They made it really. They studied in the Hebrew schools. They studied in the Hebrew University in Jerusalem, or even the Technion in Haifa, you know, the technical school.
What?
They have the rights like any one of the other citizens. They speak Hebrew, Arabic, English, and this is the intelligent, actually, the people of the Arabs here that were educated so nice. And those are, some of them really very friendly to the state of Israel. We have even Arab members of the government and the Israeli government as Arab citizen. And they spread under the tree, they put a kind of a plastic towels, a plastic pieces, and what they do, they shake the tree. They shake the tree on the ground, they collect them, they put them in jars, they make olive oil, they make soap out of it, and they make really good money out of this kind of olive trees that you will see around this area.